All right, so you've been hitting the gym hard, right? You're getting bigger, you're getting stronger, but you feel like you've lost a step on the field, or maybe on the court. If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the science of how to build muscle that doesn't just look good, it's seriously fast and powerful. Let's get into it. I mean, this is the question every single athlete asks themselves at some point. You're crushing your PRs in the weight room, your body's changing, but are you actually getting more athletic? This is what we call the lifter's dilemma, that fear that the muscle you're working so hard to build might actually be hitting the brakes on your speed. And this slide, this really breaks it down. See, on one side, you've got the classic bodybuilding goal, which is all about aesthetics and just getting as big as possible. But on the other side, you have the athleticism goal, where every single rep, every set, it's all about one thing: performance, functionality. And here's the thing, they are not the same, and training for one can seriously sabotage the other. Now, to understand how to get faster, we have to go back to a little physics 101. It's the one equation that rules all movement: force equals mass times acceleration. So, to generate more force, to move faster, you've really only got two levers to pull. You can either increase your mass, or you can increase your acceleration. Simple enough, right? Well, here's the paradox. For any athlete, just blindly adding mass, just getting bigger, it's not the answer if that new muscle isn't built to be fast. What if the very process of adding that mass is actually slowing down your ability to accelerate? That is the trap so many people fall into, and it's exactly what we are going to figure out how to avoid today. So here's our game plan. We're going to tackle that big question about big muscles and slow speed. We'll find your body's real engine, uncover the secret to building fast muscle, and then we'll get into the new rules of training. We'll even lay out the ultimate sprinter workouts so you can start building that functional power right away. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about where real, raw athletic power actually comes from. And I'll give you a hint, it's not the muscles that you're always flexing in the mirror. Your true engine for speed and power is what's called your posterior chain. You got to think of your body like a high-performance sports car. All those muscles on the back of your body, your glutes, your hamstrings, your lower back, that's the V12 engine that propels you forward. So let's look under the hood at this engine. First, you've got your gluteus maximus. That's pure horsepower. It's what launches you forward. Then you have the hamstrings. Think of them like a super sophisticated braking system that also recycles energy at top speed. And then there's the secret weapon, the Adductor Magnus. Now, this is really cool. What scientists are finding is that this one muscle, the Adductor Magnus, is so incredibly powerful for hip extension, especially when you're starting from a deep position, that they've started calling it the fourth hamstring. It's this massive and often overlooked source of explosive power. Okay, so if the posterior chain is the engine, then your core is the transmission. It's the chassis. It's the thing that takes all that horsepower and gets it to the ground without any power leaking out because your frame is all wobbly and unstable. A strong core makes sure that every ounce of force you create goes into moving you forward. All right, so now we know which muscles we need to train, but how you train them? Well, that's the secret sauce that separates the truly fast from the merely big. And it all comes down to the quality of the muscle itself. Let's geek out on the science for just a second. Your muscles are made up of different types of fibers. You've got your slow twitch fibers, which are great for endurance, and then you have your fast twitch fibers, which are built for pure power and speed. They literally dictate how fast and how hard you can move. And this right here is the most important part. We all start with the most explosive fibers possible, called type 2X. Think of this as pure rocket fuel. But here's the problem. When you train like a traditional bodybuilder, with those slow, grinding reps that you take all the way to failure, you send a very specific signal to your body. And your body adapts by turning that precious rocket fuel into type 2A fibers. Now, they're still strong, but they're more like jet fuel. They're built for a bit more endurance, not that pure and same explosion. You are literally training the fast right out of your muscles. So, how in the world do we build muscle while protecting that rocket fuel? Well, this is where we need to throw out some of the old rules and bring in a much smarter, much faster way to train. Welcome to the world of velocity-based training, or VBT. And the idea is actually super simple. You basically put a speedometer on your barbell. So instead of just worrying about how much weight is on the bar, you start tracking the speed of every single rep. The goal is to make sure every rep is explosive. That's how you prevent that dangerous muscle fiber shift.
Now, this chart is the key to everything. Research has shown that once your rep speed drops by more than 30% during a set, you're deep in that territory that shifts your fibers to the slower type. But look at that sweet spot, a velocity loss of about 15 to 20%. This is where the magic happens. You get enough tension to actually grow the muscle, but you do it while preserving the explosive quality of your best muscle fibers. This is the zone for building muscle that is both big and fast.
So how do you stay in that zone? One of the best ways is with cluster sets. Look at the left, a traditional set of 6. The first couple reps are fast, sure, but by the end you're just grinding, and your speed is in the toilet. Now look at the right. A cluster set breaks those 6 reps into 3 little mini sets of 2, with a short rest in between. And what's the result? Every single rep stays fast and powerful. You're teaching your body to be explosive from start to finish. You get the volume you need to grow, but with the quality you need for speed.
Okay, enough with the theory, let's actually put this into practice. We're going to build the ultimate workout for speed and power, focusing on the exercises that give you the absolute most bang for your buck. Your new foundation is the barbell hip thrust. Look, squats are great for vertical force, but sprinting is all about pushing yourself horizontally. And for that, the hip thrust is king. When you do it, you have to focus on intent. Every single rep needs to be an explosion. Drive that bar up as fast as you possibly can. This is the perfect lift to use those cluster sets we just talked about, so every single rep is pure quality. Next up, to turn that raw strength into usable athletic power, we need something like the power clean. This lift is the very definition of lifting fast. It teaches your whole nervous system to fire everything at once, your ankles, your knees, your hips, in one violent, coordinated movement. It is the ultimate bridge from being strong in the gym to being powerful on the field. And to make sure that chassis of ours is rock solid, we're going to use the Palloff press. Remember, a sprinter's core isn't about doing a million crunches. It's about resisting movement to let power transfer through the body. This exercise trains your core to fight against twisting forces, plugging up all those energy leaks and keeping your torso completely solid while your arms and legs are moving like crazy. It's the stability that makes speed possible. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from physics to muscle fibers to actual exercises. Let's boil it all down to the key things you absolutely need to remember. This right here, this is your new training philosophy. First, train movements, not just muscles. Second, quality over quantity. The speed of your rep is way more important than that last ugly, grinding rep to failure. Third, build your real engine. Focus on your glutes, your hamstrings, and your core. And finally, the golden rule, you have to remember, if you want to get fast, you gotta lift fast. So the next time you walk into the gym, you've got a choice to make. Every set, every single rep, it's a decision. Are you building muscle for the mirror, or are you building it for the finish line? The answer to that question is going to define not just how you look, but how you move. Thanks so much for watching. If this was helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of performance.